Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's April 21st, 2017, already the 1 year anniversary of the passing of Prince. Today's news in the headlines: Prince was supposed to release a new mini album, 6 songs with the single Deliverance. It was blocked by a judge. That block lasts until May 3rd. So the album might very well be released May 3rd, which is the real Machiavelli's birthday, who wrote his best remembered title, The Prince. And if you followed my work from 2016, I showed how last year on May 3rd, the big news story in the morning was the death of Tupac Shakur's mother. She actually died May 2nd, late in the evening, but it was the news story May 3rd. And I said, look at this, Truth Seeker. We just had the murder of Prince by the numbers, and now we have the death of Tupac's mother. Tupac's final artist name was Machiavelli. If you've never seen my work on Tupac or Notorious B.I.G. or so many other hip-hop stars, there's really something going on in this world called murder by numbers. Listen to the song from 1983 by the band The Police. That's with Sting. Listen to the song Murder by Numbers, about how it's as simple to kill as ABC 123, and the reason to kill people is to boost your own status, elevate your own status. Listen to that song. In 1983, Prince also recorded I Would Die For You, and he spelled four with just the number 4 and the word you with just the letter U. Prince died on 4/21. U is the 21st letter. 4U is 421. In 83, 33 years before his death, he recorded I Would Die For You. What I don't know to this day is when he recorded that song, did he realize he was signing his life away for 33 years later? Is it all part of a plan? Was he murdered? Is it possible he faked his death? I'll leave those questions for you to answer. We're going to uncover more about this album and the song Deliverance. The song Deliverance equals 53, and the ban on blocking the album ends on May 3rd. We're going to talk more about this. There's more to it. But first, I want to go back to February 16th, 2016. This is the day after Vanity died. I'll link this video in the description. It's been up since February 16th, 2016. This video is 11 and a half minutes long. Right at the 9.5 minute mark, and I didn't mean to plan it that way, it's just the way it came out, I started to talk about why Prince better watch his ass. And I want you to listen to this. After we listen, I'm going to show you new information that I've never shown before about the death of Prince and Vanity. This is in my book, but since it's the 1 year anniversary of Prince's death, I'm going to share it with you here. I got a book coming out soon. If you watched my video from a year ago, I was working on the book. I'm still working on it, and it's a blessing I'm still working on it because the research has come even so much further in the last year. I'm telling you, Truth Seeker, this book, it's going to be one of the most important books published in the last century just because it exposes the very sick things that are going on in this world, including ritualistic murder, including staging false flag terrorism by the numbers, and so much more. These things are evil. They need to be extinguished from our world so we as a people cannot be tormented by them. You know, the death of Prince hurt a lot of people. Let's listen to what I said February 16th, 2016 about how Prince better watch out. You can go back and watch this whole video. The exact numbers I talk about here end up being the numbers in Prince's death as well. Vanity was the reason for this video. Vanity, aka Nasty Girl, Prince's former girlfriend. She died just before the 58th Grammys at age 57. And then Prince would die a span of 67 days later at the age of 57. I talk specifically about 67 in this video, but listen up. February 16th, 2016, the Prince prediction. Here we go.
Prince was born in the year 58 on the date June 7th, and
very quickly, let's see what this has to do with death. Again, 58, just before the 58th Grammys. Freemasonry equals 58. Also 67, kind of like his date of birth, June 7th. Prince's full name in Gematria, Prince Rogers Nelson. His birth name has Gematria of 118. The word death in Jewish Gematria equals 118. Prince himself should be looking out. He turns 58 later this year. So, that's where I begin with the warning. I'll link the rest of the video. We know he ended up dying. Let's just see how linked this was between Vanity and Prince. Again, from February 15th to Prince's death, April 21st, a span of 67 days. Relevant words. You've heard about celebrities selling their soul to attain their fame. You think about a song like Murder by Numbers, how killing is right, and it's the way to maintain your status, boost your status. Soul 67, Satanic 67, Freemasonry 67, Blood Sacrifice 67. What's sad is since I made that video, there must be at least 100 new videos on celebrity deaths on this channel talking about 67. Happens again and again and again. I was explaining that in the death of Vanity. There had already been several deaths to start the year, you might recall in 2016, a lot of them connected to 67. So let's take it up here to the top. I want to thank this person right here. NCB, I'd never seen this person comment before. They said repost. That means they must have sent this to me before, but I just saw it this morning for the first time, and I'm so grateful. This person let me know that Prince's mother had died on the same day in history that Vanity died, and this is something I never knew before today, the 1-year anniversary of Prince's death. So this is something I'm going to add to my book. And again, this is why I'm glad that the book's not published. The book is already amazing. But, you know, for every person out there that just needs every base covered, that's what I'm attempting to do. I'm attempting to make it so that there's no room for criticism. There's no chance of saying any of what I'm exposing is coincidence, because that's what I've been running into. And that's why I've been working so hard to convince people that this is not coincidence. This is part of a sick ritual, part of a greater, darker, nastier system that's governing over us, and that we, the people of the world, need to put an end to and stop supporting with our energy and money and even our own words. You know, you're looking at someone who's been speaking out against everything wrong in this world since September 11th, 2001, and really even before that. And from my fellow people, all I've mostly gotten is hate, criticism, dismissal. And it saddens me because I know I'm not wrong, and it makes me so sad that people can't see the truth of this sick and perverse world. So, February 15th, 2002, this is the death of, hold on, Truth Seeker, if the camera's recording, okay. Sometimes this thing starts spinning on my screen, and when I'm talking it doesn't record, and then the video has a big skip. I didn't want one of those, but anyway, I think we're good right now. Prince's mother, Maddie Shaw, dead February 15th, 2002. Vanity died February 15th, 2016, just before the 58th Grammys. Alwyn Jarreau, jazz musician, dead just before the 59th Grammys. See my video on the death of Alwyn Jarreau. Similar story. The name Alwyn in Gematria sums to 59, Negro 59, Slave 59, Blues 59. The last song Prince put out as a musician before he died was Baltimore's song on May 9th. 59, this number stamped all over black people throughout history. This year you saw 59-year-old Morris Day perform at the 59th Grammys doing the song Jungle Love. You know, Prince's group Time. We'll talk about the word time. Jungle Love equals 42. All throughout history, 59 and 42 stamped on black people. We're going to talk about that in this video. So, Prince's mother, Maddie Shaw, dead the same day as Vanity. She died in Edina, Minnesota. Right away, I noticed that Edina had gematria of 33, because I recalled that Vanity died on a date with 33 numerology. I recalled Prince died on the Queen's birthday at age 57 when the Queen turned 90, a difference of 33 years. They lit up Niagara Falls purple the day Prince died, the day the Queen turned 90. Prince died at his home in Paisley Park. 33, number of sacrifice. Think about the story of Jesus on the cross at age 33. Vanity's date of death, February 15th, 16, date with 33 numerology. The women, Prince's mother and Vanity died 14 years apart. The word dead in English reduction and ordinal sums to 14, just like the word end. We talk about streaks often ending at 14 on this channel. Anytime you see in the world of sports a team's got 14 of something going, expect that streak to end. It happens all the time, college and pro. 14 years apart. So Vanity, she died on the 46th day of the year, just like Prince's mother, February 15th. 31 days in January, 15 in February. The word sacrifice has gematria of 46. This song, Deliverance, that's coming out, has gematria of 199, which is the 46th prime number. Talk about those numbers 199 and 46 a lot. The word execution has gematria of 46, so does the name Vanity, who died on the 46th day of the year. We saw Prince pass in the elevator. Elevator has the gematria of 46. February 15th is the third and final day of the ancient Roman festival Lupercalia, which has to do with spirits. You start thinking about spirits, you start thinking about the afterlife. Lupercalia begins February 13th, the 44th day of the year. The word kill 44, execution 44, genocide 44. Lupercalia happens to have gematria of 44. We saw Antonin Scalia die on this date more than a year ago. February 13th, 2016. The Supreme Court Justice. He died on a ranch. Ranch equals 44 on Lupercalia. This number that has a lot to do with killing. You might recall the media started a rumor that maybe Obama had him killed, the 44th president. It's all propaganda. It's all part of a theater show. But notice, Denise Matthews was the name of Vanity. Matthews is also a name with 44 gematria. She died in the time of Lupercalia. She was known as Nasty Girl. Nasty Girl, 44. Prince himself would end up dying on the 44th parallel in his home in Chanhassen, Minnesota at Paisley Park. A year ago at this time, I did not know about reverse gematria, and I'm so glad that I've learned that because it is a major revelation. It is a major breakthrough in the research. It provides us with so much more understanding. Anyhow, think about how Lupercalia begins on February 13th, 2/13, the 44th day of the year, in the middle of Black History Month. In history, Tupac Shakur released his last studio album, All Eyes on Me, on February 13th, 2/13, and then died 213 days later on September 13th. The name Tupac Shakur equals 139, like 13/9. Look at the gematria. Denise Matthews, 2/13, Black History Month, 2/13, Black Panther, 2/13. Tupac's mother was a Black Panther. She died on the real Machiavelli's birthday, or the day before, but she was the news on his birthday. Her son, his final hip-hop rapper name was Machiavelli. His final album shows him on the cross, like Jesus. So 2/13, this very special number. I have a lot of videos on young black people dead by the number 2/13. You know, just this week, there was ridiculous propaganda out of Cleveland about a man named Stevie Steve shooting Robert Godwin on Easter Sunday. They said that he died in a white Ford Fusion after being denied at a McDonald's where he demanded, "I want my McNuggets." All of this is propaganda. Our media does nothing but lie to us and give us stories that present stereotypes and false information to program people. That's what this whole story is about. Reinforcing the lie that black men are dangerous, killers, a threat. A crazy black man just killing an old black man named Robert Godwin on Easter Sunday. Think about it. So anyway, 213, the code. He was at McDonald's, the Golden Arches. Think about how McDonald's sells purposefully poisonous, contaminated food and targets it to black communities. McDonald's is poisoning everyone, but McDonald's aims their advertising always at young black people. Pay attention, it's undeniable. Been going on since the 90s. So Maddie Shaw, she was born November 11th, 1933 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's Prince's mother, November 11th, 1933. You know, that's a really fitting date to be born in Minneapolis. See if I can load this up here. Looks like my computer's tiring out. I worked this computer hard doing all this research. I'm going to close some of these windows. I'll link these playlists and videos down below. Afterwards, the Prince Death playlist just put together today. But I want to show you this real quick about her date of birth in regards to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Show you something interesting here. She's born 11/11/1933, right? So you could do 11 plus 11 plus 33. That would give you a date numerology of 55. Minneapolis has gematria of 55, right? And if you write out Minneapolis, Minnesota, it sums to 93. We're going to talk more about this number. Notice also the reverse ordinal of 303. In Satanic gematria, if you write out Saturn, it's going to sum to 93, and you'll also notice the 303. 93 and 303. We're going to talk about how this relates to the story of Prince's album, but understand that Saturn is the keeper of time, has a lot to do with death and judgment. If you write out 93, it sums back to 55. Very special number. So his mother, born on a date with 55 numerology in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 55 and 93 have this connection. Minneapolis, Minnesota equals 93. It's on the 93rd meridian, just like Chanhassen, where Prince died. Chanhassen's a suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm just trying to show you, this woman's birthday is very special. She was a professional singer like Prince. Again, the world of entertainment is controlled. Most people are born into it, whether they're musicians, actors, athletes. It is a network of Freemasonry. The name Maddie Shaw also has gematria of 38, like Prince, like death, like Chanhassen, where Prince died, like Minnesota, like fentanyl. You see? Her date of birth, also a date with 74 numerology, like purple, as in purple rain, purple, the color of the Freemason logo, Masonic 74, Killing 74, Jewish 74, Occult 74, gematria equals 74. There's a band called Slipknot that has a song called Gematria, the killing name. And think about that in light of Murder by Numbers, the song by The Police, about, ABC 123 killing. Notice also in Satanic Killings 319, so is Masonic, so is Lucifer. Prince died 319 days after his birthday, and he has a song about the number 319. Prince, from his death to his upcoming 58th birthday, we'll get to why 58 is so special. Vanity died before the 58th Grammys. He died 47 days before his birthday. The reflection is 74. Niagara Falls has the gematria of 47. His mother's name also has the gematria of 47. He died on Queen Elizabeth's birthday, 47 days before his own. I should mention that if you use the S exception, just like how Maddie Shaw, just show you, Maddie Shaw with the S exception is 47, just like Minnesota, which I should have put in there, just to be thorough. Minnesota's hosting upcoming Super Bowl 52. See my work on Denny Green, who died 52 days before the Vikings' first game last season, the day before they opened the new stadium that'll host Super Bowl 52. It's murder by numbers. The world of entertainment is full of it. Denny Green, the former head coach up in Minnesota, who used to also coach the Cardinals, who clues are getting dropped for. See my work on the death of Cuba Gooding Jr.'s father, Cuba Gooding Sr., April 20th, murder by numbers, no doubt. So here's Prince's birthday, June 7th, born in 58, died 47 days before his 58th birthday. Getting 47 degrees on the Freemason compass. Remember, their symbol's the big G. G's the seventh letter. 7's the fourth prime number. 7447. There's also 90 degrees on the square. Prince died on the Queen's 90th birthday. They lit up Niagara Falls purple. Niagara equals 33. Just like if you write out 90, they said this was for the Queen's 90th birthday. Show you something else. Notice the 48 in reverse reduction. The number 223 is the 48th prime number. 223 is the 48th prime. Niagara equals 48. And Niagara Falls equals 223. Look at the awkward spelling. Niagara. Gematria is real. This is how things have been named. Why else are you going to call something Niagara? You know? It's all gematria. Our whole alphabet. People in the know are aware of this. That's why Prince in 1983, way before text message or computers or instant messaging, wrote, "I would die for you," with the number 4 and the letter U. You know, people weren't doing that until the internet age. He was decades ahead of his time with that one. He coded 421. This is all planned. You know, for all we know, he's living with his mother and Vanity, happily ever after with the rest of the celebrities that might very well be on Celebrity Island. One of two things is going on. These people are getting murdered, and it's all planned out way in advance, or they're planning the end of their careers and the way they retire. And why would you retire with a fake death? Because death sells like no other. That's why. And we live in a world of money and selfish people and dishonest people. Dishonesty is ruling in this world, and I don't know who would argue against that. You know, you got everyone getting on the TV lying to you every single night about everything. It's amazing anyone trusts a single word that comes from anyone on the news. So here's those 47 degrees on the compass. Just in case you're new here, you never watched before, the Freemasons have something called the 47th problem of Euclid about how to establish foundation. 47 degrees on the compass. And at the top, they call it the pole star, that circle at the top of their compass. The pole star is the North Star, and the 47th problem of Euclid is about how to make a perfectly square foundation using the North Star, or the pole star. 47 degrees. Prince has a band called Time. Time equals 47. Prince died 47 days before his birthday. The tropics that measure the solstices, that measure time of this earth, the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, 47 degrees apart. You know, perfect. Our language is built on old world understanding and mathematics. Denise Matthews, born January 4th, 59. She died 42 days after her birthday. Talk about that. Born in 59, 42, and 59. The number stamped all over black people. Denise Matthews, dead at 57, just like Prince. Denise Matthews, 57, like Scottish Rite, as in Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. From her birthday to her death, 42 days. The big G, Freemason 42. G also represents 42. You know, she was nasty girl. You know, the Freemasons, the Zionists, they have certain gimmicks that they use all the time to occupy our minds. Violence, killing, death, fear. And another big one is sex. And out of all the things that they use, you know, my favorite of them, like most people, is sex. And sex isn't evil or bad, in my opinion, as some people will tell you. You know, there's people who believe you should only have sex inside marriage. There's people who believe you should only have sex to procreate. You know, I think God gave us, you know, the bodies we have to enjoy them as we may, but we're supposed to be responsible and honest and not, you know, cheating and lying to get what we want. But anyway, if you study Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, you know, the 10 Sephirot, you know, how to reach spiritual enlightenment and attain the highest, you know, mental state. What's at the bottom of that chart for getting there is, you know, the focus on, you know, the physical body and sex. At the bottom of that chart is sex. And I understand why. I mean, if your mind is just only on sex and that's all you strive for, if that's all you think about, what else can you really do in this world? And sadly, I think so many people are trapped in that state because there's just sex everywhere. Good-looking people, advertisements, movies, TV, billboards, just constant reminders everywhere. So, in the Bible, the original printed Bibles are 42-line Bibles. Prince on the Tavis Smiley Show in 2009 talked about, he's Jehovah's Witness, and all we can go by in this world is prophecy. See my mini videos on Prince and prophecy. They opened up his house as a museum on October 6th, 10/6, because that's the prophecy code. Way before that, I was explaining Prince and prophecy in 106. Then they went and opened his house, as a museum on October 6th. That's why you got to follow my work. Way ahead of the curve. But anyway, Bible, 42-line Bibles, the names of the first printed Bibles. Christianity is the belief that we're all sinners and Jesus died for our sins. Sin equals 42. There's the 42 laws of Ma'at, which have all to do with sin, going back to the ancient Egyptians. The New Testament begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. New Testament 42, New Testament also has that gematria of 165 like Scottish Rite. And the signatures of Freemasonry are all over the Bible, undeniable. I noticed also that the word sin in satanic gematria is 147, like Freemason, like conspiracy, like April Fools. Prince's death, I would die for you in April. Are we fools to believe it? Maybe. Here's how he titled that song. A few more notes. Prince died on an elevator, supposedly. Elevator, gematria of 118, just like his name, Prince Rogers Nelson, which I talked about in the video before he died. Nasty Girl, 118. They said Prince died from fentanyl, which has the gematria of 119, also like Matty Shaw, like All Seeing Eye, like Star of David, like Master Plan, like Foundation, special number. They said that Vanity, who died before the 58th Grammys, it was from complications due to her sclerosis, 119. Kidney disease, she died from kidney disease was her cause of death. Gematria of 58, dead just before the 58th Grammys. Prince, Purple Rain, 58. On the anniversary of Purple Rain, Jim Irsay bought Prince's guitar in 2016, 32-year release. Jim Irsay is the owner of the Colts. Prince performed at Super Bowl 41, which the Colts won, and Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, this past year after Prince died, 67 days after he died, bought his guitar that he used. Jim Irsay, 58, like Purple Rain. Also, notice Jim Irsay's 41. So is the word Super Bowl. Prince performed at Super Bowl 41, playing Purple Rain. That was the first Super Bowl that was ever rained on, as reported by Sports Illustrated. They put out a special on that this year. That Super Bowl was on 4/2, February 4th. The word rain has gematria 42. Performing Purple Rain in the rain at the first Super Bowl ever with rain. If you guys want to understand just how crazy this world is and you're not aware, go back and read what the U.S. government revealed in the 60s, what they were doing in Vietnam. Something called cloud seeding, where you spray contaminant in the air and it attracts moisture and creates rain. And the reason our government did that in Vietnam was because they knew that their soldiers were on foot and were using, mud tunnels, dirt tunnels. They knew that if they flooded out areas, it would make, life hard for the Vietnamese soldiers. You see? The U.S. government testified that they increased rainfall by more than twice as much using this cloud seeding technology. That was in the 60s. We're talking about Prince performing at Super Bowl 41, which was just 11 years ago. And again, just one more time, Super Bowl 41, Prince died April 21st, 16. 4 plus 21 plus 16 equals 41. He died on a date with 41 numerology, April 21st in 2016 was a leap year. That was the 112th day of the year. Super Bowl has gematria of 112. Prince died on the 112th day of the year. Jim Irsay went on to buy Prince's guitar. You know, there's some riddle going on here between Prince and the Colts. There's always a relationship between the Colts and the Patriots, who won the Super Bowl this past season. The Patriots won the Super Bowl in their 57th season this year after Prince died at age 57, you know? But again, Purple Rain 58, the Freemason logo, purple. Did I put it up here? We can look at it one more time. The purple background, Purple Rain. This is Freemasonry. So many things that are related to Freemasonry have gematria of 58. Rosicrucian, which means rose cross. Both Rosicrucian and rose cross sum to 58. Beginning of the 1600s. That's Francis Bacon, King James. Go back and read about the Rosicrucians. Solomon's Temple equals 58, what Freemasonry history is based in. Jerusalem equals 58, where Solomon's Temple was. The United States of America's New Jerusalem. Again, from Vanity's death to Prince's 67 days, like Soul, Satanic, Freemasonry, Blood Sacrifice. Here's the two of them on the cover of Rolling Stone in purple. Purple Rain, dead before the 58th Grammys was her future. Prince dead before his 58th birthday. One more thing that happened 3 days before Prince died. 3 days before Prince died was April 18th, 2016. The Los Angeles Lakers did a retirement for Kobe Bryant on April 18th. And remember, the Los Angeles Lakers are from Minnesota. The day Prince died, I explained how his death was connected to the NBA Finals. They gave us his cause of death the day of Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Anyhow, Los Angeles Lakers equals 58. So does Kobe Bryant, 58. The word star equals 58. David Stern, the former commissioner, said the NBA isn't about basketball, it's about making stars. They retired Kobe's number April 18th, 2016, a date with 58 numerology, you see? Kobe Bryant, 58, Los Angeles Lakers, originally from Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes. That's how it's all done. It's all Freemasonry. It's all intertwined ritual. See my video on Prince going to the Warriors game 49 days before his death. Prince attended the Warriors game on March 3rd, 49 days before his death. Warriors equals 49. The Warriors are from Philadelphia, originally the city of prophecy, named from the book of Revelation. Prince said all we could go by is prophecy. Look at this. Notice that Warriors also sums to 121. The game Prince went to, the Warriors won with 121 points. Also, they defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder, who lost with 106 in that same game. Prophecy 106, if you add 121 and 106 together, you get 227, which is the 49th prime. The game summed at 227 points. Prince died 49 days later. Philadelphia, where the Warriors are from, is named from Revelation. Revelation equals 49 and 121, just like Warriors. Are you following me? Prince said all we can go by is prophecy. Revelation from the Bible is the book of prophecy and destruction. The Warriors from Philly. Philly named from Revelation. You know, Prince at this game. The perfect score exactly 49 days before his death. You know what I mean? Prince said all we could go by is prophecy. I got videos on all these things. I just like to review. So let's jump now more into this whole album fiasco, because this is fascinating. Today's date, the date of the news, date with 42 numerology, the Freemason connection, also a date with 35, the reflection of 53, deliverance equals 53, and here the news is, Minnesota Judge Wilhelmina M. Wright of the United States District Court sided with the estate, issuing a temporary restraining order blocking the dissemination of Prince's music by Mr. Boxall and ordering him to deliver all the recordings acquired through his work with Paisley Park Enterprises, including original recordings, analog and digital copies to the estate. The order expires on May 3rd unless it is extended by the court. Well, we'll see what happens on May 3rd, the real Machiavelli's birthday. Check this out. The name of the judge has gematria of 93, just like Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Prince and his family are from, on the 93rd meridian. Again, Saturn's the keeper of time, having to do with judgment. Here we're talking about the ruling of a judge. Both the words time and judge have gematria of 47. They just nominated Neil Gorsuch, or made him officially the 9th Supreme Court Justice on 4/7, April 7th. Not by coincidence. Hold on, I want to take down 2 of these ciphers real quick so you can appreciate this. All of these methods you see on the screen are interrelated. Look at what judge is. 20, 25, 47, 88. If I said to name one word that really goes with a judge, would you think of gavel? Gavel has the exact same gematria in all methods. The word obey also pertains. It's the same in full reduction and English ordinal. You know, a little bit different, but think about how the judge's authority. Special number. Authority also has that 106 connection like prophecy, and Prince said all we can go by in this world is prophecy. But who's making the prophecy? See, it's the Freemasonic authority, and the North Star, which is known as the pole star to the Freemasons, also has that gematria of 106. You know, they are the authority. The Freemason compass set at 47 degrees pointing at the pole star. So May 3rd is the date. Deliverance, the hit single from these 6 songs, I guess. Gematria 53. The real Machiavelli's birthday. Who wrote The Prince. You got to love that it has a 3.8 review. We talked about Prince equals 38, that number of death earlier. Like how his mother's name is 38. So along the way, people have pointed out things to me that helped me grow. You know, somebody said, hey man, check out this thing on 319. Prince had a song 319. He died 319 days after his birthday, his 57th. If you write out 319, it has gematria of 57, like his age of death. Creator happens to have gematria of 319. 319 connects to 216. We saw Cleveland win the NBA Finals right after Prince. Again, watch my video from the day of Prince's death. I said how it would be connected to the NBA Finals. The Cavs won 57 games in the regular season. Number that has everything to do with sports championships. You know, Muhammad Ali died after game 1 at age 74. Masonic killing, gematria. Gematria, the killing name. I predicted Muhammad Ali would die at 74 in 2014 on this video channel. Go back and watch that video. You know, a lot of correct predictions on this channel because all throughout history these same rituals have taken place. But that 216 is the Cleveland area code. 6 times 6 times 6, 216, 666, number of the beast. 319, another way to express 319, also has gematria of 65 like Prince. The number 227, which we just talked about, has a mathematical relationship with 319. In Satanic gematria, killing 319, Masonic 319, Lucifer 319, Calhoun 319. Remember the shooting on Calhoun Street at the historic black church by Dylan Stormroof? That's all fake news, media propaganda by the numbers. See my work. So, also interesting is how Prince Fielder retired 112 days after Prince died on the 112th day of the year, just before the 112th World Series, which was won by the Cubs. You might recall that Prince had to touch down in Molina, Illinois. Supposedly he was sick. He was flying back from Atlanta where he had his last concert. Atlanta ended up in the Super Bowl. He had to touch down in Molina, Illinois, which was established in history on April 21st, the day he died. Illinois, the Cubs, the World Series. If I'm talking too fast, last year, the Chicago Cubs won the 112th World Series on 11/2, 112. World Series in gematria sums to 57. The year before last year, we saw Dave Henderson die at age 57, 57 days after the Royals won the World Series, when he retired from baseball with the Royals. Anyway, Prince Fielder, baseball player. He retired last year, mid-season, finishing his career with 319 home runs, just like his father. Both him and his father, Cecil Fielder, finished their career with 319 home runs. And back then I didn't know what satanic gematria was, and I was trying to figure out what the riddle was with Prince and the 319. Look at this. From Prince's death, which was the 112th day of the year, to Prince Fielder retiring with 319 home runs was 112 days, just before the 112th World Series. Do you see the ritual? And again, this just backs up everything that I'm saying. The day Prince died, I explained, the very first video, how I predicted his death and how his death was going to be connected to more rituals to come in the world of rigged sports. The NBA Finals. They announced Prince's cause of death, Game 1 of the NBA Finals. How it would be connected to the 112th World Series. We end up seeing retirements. Prince and Cecil Fielder both played for the Detroit Tigers. This year in the offseason, we saw the owner of the Detroit Tigers die by the numbers. The Detroit Tigers were connected to the curse with the Cubs, the curse of the Billy Goat. We were talking about 223. Look at this. Curse of the Billy Goat, 223. And if you look up the curse of the Billy Goat, there's an old photo from 1945. It's the World Series between the Detroit Tigers and Chicago Cubs, the last one the Cubs were in before they won last year. There's a sign with the Detroit fans, and the sign says, "We got Detroit's goat, 223." And then they called it the curse of the Billy Goat, 223. Because it's all Freemasonry. Running the show, creating the history, creating the narratives. Undeniable. Undeniable. So over time, we figured out more and more. And this is just how, just look. Look at how scripted all of this is. Baseball, basketball, football, the death of Prince, players, the owners of teams, Kobe Bryant, and just so many other things. I have a video on how Johnny Depp is connected to the death of Prince. Absolutely. I need to put out a video on the death of River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix's little brother. River Phoenix was killed for Johnny Depp. There's certain people within this entertainment world that clearly have more power. And you'll see that a lot of these rituals over time, these deaths of celebrities, they connect to a lot of the same people a lot of the time. Johnny Depp, this guy is connected to some really dark stuff. A lot of people have died in connection to Johnny Depp, even Prince. Johnny Depp's still standing. Read my blog post. I haven't made a video yet about River Phoenix, but I have a really nice blog post on it that I meant to make a video. If you don't follow my blog, there's thousands of things on here that I wish I had the time to make videos about. I'm always doing my best to keep up. I have to maintain my real life. I don't make any money from this. And honestly, right now I'm at a point where I really could use the money, but I don't ever want to monetize this channel because I don't want people to think I'm just doing this to make money from ads. Not even close. All I've done is lost. All I've done is lost from doing this work. But it's okay because, I always thought this was my destiny since I was a child, to wake people up to help make this world a better place. And the only way people are going to be motivated to make it better is to see the darkness and the sickness for what it really is. And this is just how sick it all is. You go back and read this post, look at this. $106 million contract he got to walk away with. 106, prophecy. Prince said all we could go by is prophecy. Here's a Prince retiring in connection to the death of Prince with $106 million. This was before October 6th when they reopened his house as a museum. You see what's going on? Prince Samian Fielder, gematria of 108, just like Major League, just like how the Cubs broke the 108-year World Series drought, 108 double stitches on a baseball field. He retired 93 days after his birthday. Saturn, the keeper of time. Prince dead on the 93rd meridian. This is why it's so hard for me, Truth Seeker. I've been putting out all this content for so long, and people they don't catch on. How can they not catch on? How can it all be coincidence? So I think we covered it all. There was a lot of information here. Down in the description, I'm going to link the brand new Prince Death playlist. Next blog post, I got to cover this. Architect got thrown off a building, the 47th floor. You should know why by now, right? Thank you to NCB. NCB inspired this whole video. Probably wouldn't have existed if this person didn't repost their comment. So, for everyone who provides useful comments, thank you so much. Sorry if I don't see them. I only have one set of eyes. A lot of comments get left, but I saw this today, and now we have even more knowledge to appreciate. Until next time, True Seekers.